So yeah, Canada needs to be annexed by Trump immediately. Like if anybody from America is listening to this, like pick up arms and go into our government and usurp the government. Okay? Like please do it. Like we need your help. Like just recently our immigration minister Ahmed Hussein, right, is now looking to repeal section 31 38 1C. And what this does is it prevents a person from being admitted to Canada if they have a health condition that might reasonably be expected to cause excessive demand to our health or social services, right? And he really wants to repeal this bill because it apparently does not fit with Canadians' perceptions on inclusion, inequality, and these types of things. So literally, they want to repeal it so then they can bring in sick people, disabled people into Canada because of diversity. Really, like this is the explanation that they're giving. And there's so many stupid fucking people in Canada that they're gonna be like, yeah, why are we keeping these people from entering? Like, who cares if it costs money? But it doesn't matter. You know, it's like we don't even have a right to our own money. It's discriminatory to keep people out who are going to be a burden upon your fucking society, right? We're taking in ISIS members. Now we're taking in like poor, uneducated people. We're fast tracking refugees in our country. That we're gonna have thousands come in from the border into America, and they're all gonna be fast tracked, low skilled workers. Now we're gonna bring sick people that are gonna cost the Canadian taxpayer money. Like, are these people crazy? Are they insane? Like, really, is it just so they don't have to vet people anymore? I think that's the case. We don't want to. Vetting is too difficult. Instead of that, let's just bring everybody in. Let's just bring in ISIS members. We'll worry about them when they're here, and we'll deal with it later. And it's like, this is really the push for this is just to increase the government, right? Like bringing in a bunch of sick people, bringing in a bunch of people that need the government is just a way to increase the government, right? These people are going to come in, they're going to need money, they're going to demand for shit. Then the government's going to be like, oh, we need to increase funding for healthcare because of this, because of that. Then they're going to increase it. Then they're going to get more taxpayer money. It's like bringing in more people like this is going to take away other people's freedoms. It's going to increase our taxes. Like it's just competent. It makes sense. It's pragmatism not to bring in people who are going to cost your system money. And I know it sounds horrible, right? We're keeping sick people out. We're evil monsters. But it's like any rational person is going to do this, right? Why isn't the country that they're coming from taking care of them, right? If we keep on taking people in because of their problem here and their country doesn't have this, and we're always just like taking people in for this, then how are these problems ever going to be solved in their country? Do you think Canada, do you think America, do you think all these countries were just super utopias to begin with? You know, do you think Europe and all that stuff was like this? Like, no, people fought for that stuff. Their ancestors fought and died for freedom. So instead of just coming to countries who have these things in place, then, you know, we should be trying to get them to do that in their country. And they're never going to do that in their country if they have incentives to come into other countries. They're like, oh yeah, like I don't blame them. If I was from a country that's poor, going through war, and then I had some dumb Canadians that are like, hey, come over here, we'll take you. Doesn't matter if you're sick. Doesn't matter if you have ties to ISIS. Doesn't matter if you're poor, uneducated. Doesn't matter. We'll take you in. We'll give you money. And the money, that welfare that they get from Canada is going to be far greater of a sum of money than what they could have been making in their own country. So of course they're going to take it. I don't blame them. Right? I don't hate them for that. This is all the government. Right? Trudeau is not fixing the problem on the border as well, which is why there's all these people coming into the country. Like Trump just ended that refugee status for that one group. I think not Somalians, but I think like Ethiopians or something like, not Ethiopians. I can't remember which country it is, but one country in Africa. I can't remember specifically, but all those people, they're not going to go back. They're going to come to Canada because there's a huge loophole in our fucking border. Whereas they will be turned back only if they come in through the designated area that you're supposed to enter. But the rest of the border is a huge loophole, so they can just come in through there, and then they're going to be admitted as refugees, and we're going to take the majority of them. We'll turn back maybe half, but we'll take the other half, and we're going to fast track them on benefits, social welfare, all these things. So like all this push to bring in all these people, it's not because the liberals care about diversity and they care about people and helping people. We could help way more people by closing our borders and maybe donating money and creating, and like not giving it to the dictators, try to give it specifically to the people and shit. But like you'd help a lot more people that way than bringing people in. This is just a way for them to justify growing the government. Like that is my opinion about it. Like there's no other really explanation for it. Why bring in a burden into your society? Why bring in people with disabilities? Why bring in people that are sick, that could potentially give all your people fucking diseases, right? Like people in other countries don't have the same shots and shit as we do, right? I'm sure there's still going to be some vetting for that, but like really, like currently the law is set so if they exceed $6,000, then we're not going to let them in. But even if they cost, like currently the way it's set up, we'll still take you if you're still going to cost $5,000-$6,000 a year, which is still too much, right? Why are we forced to pay for this shit? We have no obligation, right? And if you're so good, if you're so, all these people, they're like, oh, I'm good, I want the government to do this, I want the government to do that. You're not good. You're just using the government to do it on your behalf. And you think that you're good by forcing the government to go take other people's money by force and then giving it to other people, and you think you're generous. You're not fucking generous. Real generosity is people who give their own money and their own time. This is why all these liberals, all these people are fucking hypocrites when they're speaking about the refugee crisis, when they're speaking about all this shit. It's like, how many are you housing? How many are in your home right fucking now? Probably zero. How many people live in gated communities? It's all just fucking virtue signaling, right? So all this shit, it's just so the state can increase their power, right? And it makes people feel good about themselves, but they're not doing anything, any actual good. Real good is generosity you give on your own, that is not forced and coerced. That's actual generosity, and then you can actually feel good about yourself. So like honestly though, like Trump needs to annex Canada right away, because this is insanity. We need help. Please take over and get this, or change this immigration minister. I was hoping to give him a shot. I was like, okay, this guy's a Muslim guy from Somali. Maybe he's not as bad, but yeah, he's just as bad as he looks and sounds and everything. It's like, no, we need to like start or do an early election in Canada or something, because this is crazy. And unfortunately, Trudeau has the majority. So hopefully, if he does win next fucking election, he at least wins with a minority government, right? We need to at least ensure that. So then we could, start an early election and get him out, or make it so he can't do anything else, because what he's planning on doing right now is insane. Like, they want to increase the immigration to something like 350,000 a year, and that's going to get another increase in a few years to 400 or 450,000. That's insane. We only have 36 million people in Canada. Like, what? That's crazy, man. And it's like there's chain migration, there's all this other shit. So it's even more people than that. So, fuck. This is crazy. I can't believe they're just going to bring in people who are burn on society. But that's Canada for you. We love diversity and all this shit. So come on down. You can take as much money of ours as you fucking want, because we're stupid enough to give it to you and anybody who has a fucking sap story. But, that's all I pretty much had to say If you like my content, subscribe and have a good day. Take it easy. See ya.